Woo! Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. It is almost the end of the year. And with the end of the year comes New Year's resolutions. People decide they want to do things differently in the coming year, so they're going to write down a bunch of things that they wish they would have done in the years prior. But this is going to be your year. Now, I'm not here to trash that. I'm not here to poo-poo on it. Those things are not for me. December 31st and January 1st are no different to me. But I understand this process exists. 19 years as a personal trainer, a lot of time spent as a life coach. I understand that these things are out there in the vernacular. But one thing I'd like for us to really focus on, and first of all, I'd like to really thank everybody for their love and attention to the content that I put out. I really stand behind this type of work. But the one thing that I'd like for you to maybe consider as it relates to maybe a resolution would be using your voice more. What I mean by that is this, if you look at the research as it relates to holding things in, whether it be in adulthood, whether it be in childhood, or a combination of both, that leads to an environment of dis-ease. And we've all met people like this, and maybe you at one point or currently sit here as well. I know I have, where we're just not at ease. We've got resentment towards, this person over here. We've got resentment towards our job. We've got things we'd like to tell people, like to stand up for ourselves, but we don't. And so therefore we just eat it, right? And no different than eating too much on Thanksgiving dinner. The more emotions that you swallow and keep inside of you, the more you're going to have emotional indigestion. And it's well documented in science that the more you keep on to these emotions, the more they come out worse in your behaviors. And we have to wonder, why we attract the people that we attract, why we get ourselves into the relationships that we get into. It's very simple. It's because for your own spiritual evolution, because you're holding on to certain things. When you let go of it, and that process is not as easy as it sounds, okay? It's simple, but not easy. I don't want to make it sound like it's just something today, you viewing this video, you can just let it go, right? More accurately would probably be said to let it be versus let it go, but that's just semantics. Maybe a different energy in both of those, but it's not easy. But I'd like to challenge you, whether you become a client of mine or not. I'd like to challenge you to what are the things that you're holding on to? What are the feelings and the emotions that you'd like to express? And how do you want to express those? I have several clients who are extremely creative, and I challenge them to be creative, whatever that means for them, whether it be, house decorations, whether that be drawing, doodling, whatever the case may be, is to find some type of outlet for their creativity. Also, to have conversations with people, hard conversations with the people who trigger us. And that word gets thrown around a lot, but what I mean by that is we've all had people in our life that just make our skin crawl, right? But we eat it. We don't stand up for ourselves. We don't speak for ourselves. We don't have our voice, because life has taught us that, it's better to be agreeable. Well, there's healthy ways to process that. There's healthy ways to deal with that. And sometimes it takes the intervention of another person, whether it be a coach, a therapist, a counselor, a friend, whomever, to show us the skills that we need in order to be able to do that. But, when you're at dis-ease, you're going to create disease. When anger is something that you're exhibiting inside of you and you want some outlet to get it out, if you don't have it and your body is absorbing it, eventually it's going to come out negatively in some regard. We've all heard the words going postal, right? Now that's, obviously just a generic term given to something, but, when people hold on to something for so long, they have to get it out. Unprocessed emotions become emotional indigestion. Suppressed emotions get held in the body, creates dis-ease, which is the precursor to disease. And this is many of our disorders, many of our diseases. Anxiety and depression are the first two that come to play. Depression meaning the past, anxiety meaning the future. What is missing in both of those is the present, which is the only thing that matters, because anything done is done in the present. Nothing's done in the past because it's gone. Nothing can be done in the future because it hasn't been created yet. So if you're looking for something to really hone in on and sink your teeth into, is finding out where your blind spots are, getting honest with yourself. Where am I holding on to certain emotions? And how can I actually rid myself of them so I'm not carrying them around? That person that I'm still mad at 20 years ago, how can I let it be? How can I let it go? How can I process it so I'm not holding it in for the rest of my life? Am I in a relationship where I need to speak up more, where I need to draw more boundaries, where I need to really draw a line in the sand because it's creating my unhappiness, and my unhappiness is leading to my dis-ease, which is on the precursor of disease. So no matter where you fall in the line, and no matter where you believe, it's really important for us to do an inventory of where we're holding on to certain things, and then let's figure out how to get rid of them or let them be what they are. Because at the end of the day, your livelihood is at stake. The more freedom and peace you feel, the better you feel. The more you're going to attract the things into your life that you want versus the things that you're going to attract in your life that you need for your own spiritual evolution. To force you to find freedom and peace. Because that's all we're here for. I know it seems weird for me to say, but we're all here for freedom and peace. And it doesn't have to be freedom and peace of the world. It just has to be the freedom and peace of your world. And if this interests you, again, I'm taking on 5 clients for next year. Love to have a conversation with you about what it is that I do and see if we can't dissolve these blind spots for you so that you can create some ease in your life and ease in your mind. Because that, my friends, is priceless. Buff gum.